Hello, hope I'm doing well. And we have the Love Ru Collab finally here. I did stream the other day, going through my polls, starting the event, just kind of looking through everything. So this is the basically condensed and summarized version of that. Or instead of me looking at stuff and figuring it out, I've already looked at it and I think I know what I'm talking about. We'll see. Yes, we have some new characters. We have Lala, we have Nana, we have Momo, we have Golden Darkness, Yami, Haruna, and then we have Yui as the point accumulation. Momo is the event drop and the shop ship. Here there. Fortunately, I got two of her during the stream, so that was very nice from just the polls. And I think in total I did 105 polls, and just Lala was the one that would not show up. She was being a real hassle there. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at the ship girls, and then we're going to take a look at some general event stuff like the event maps, the event shop, point accumulation, and all of the little event stuff like the unique missions and unique minigame and mechanics and all that stuff. So let's get into the girls. Just a heads up, no one here is a total game changer. So if you don't like the collab, you don't like the characters, don't worry. You don't feel obligated to pull because we have a UR coming up in a few weeks. So next month maybe. We're due for one in the winter. So just mid to late December, early January is when I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out. So we'll see whoever she is. No idea who it will be. Yeah. So don't feel pressured to pull in this event. No one too crazy. All right, first up we have Lala. She is a heavy cruiser, definitely more focused towards tanking, and not just with self survivability, but also debuffing, which is pretty cool, pretty unique. So she increases her own evasion, and then every 4 times she fires a main gun, she has a summon that decreases her own damage taken for 8 seconds, which is already good. And then we'll also draw in nearby enemies, and these enemies that are drawn in have their firepower, torpedo, and AA decreased by 5% for the 8 seconds the vacuum octopus is active. Now, I've been trying to test it and haven't gotten it to spawn properly, or the one time I saw the skill proc, I didn't see the octopus actually spawn. So I'm not quite sure how much it actually sucks in the enemies, if it's like a Bismarck black hole type deal, or if it's just like a kind of a gentle kind of pull. Not too sure on that one. But decent survivability on that first skill. So has tanking potential. And then her second skill is a red skill, Almighty Fighting Inventor. And also has an upgrade version when you have her augment module fully leveled. So it gives her offensive stats, decent buff, and every 20 seconds after battle starts, fires special barrage, and decreases the AA and accuracy of all the enemies that are on screen for 8 seconds that are there at the time of the activation. And then 3 seconds after the effect activates, decreases her AA by 1% for 1 second, which isn't going to affect anything. I think it's just to kind of play at the fact that her inventions don't always work and there's always a drawback to them, and they always have an issue. But her augment gear, the Omni tool, which you can get from doing a mission, then the requirement for the mission is to complete the first Lala Help Me, which you need the special currency you get from either doing event stages or doing chapter or campaign stages that are above chapter 3, and that is the green crystals right here. So they are crystal fragments, so you need a certain amount of them for each level, and then they unlock 1 per day. And also doing those requests gives you the special gear for the event, which is cool. So the Omni tool gives her some firepower and accuracy, which is nice. And then the default skill that comes with it, so as long as you have it equipped on Lala, she gets a skill, is every 15 seconds, fire a special beam. It's a barrage, basically. And if either of her sisters are in the fleet, it improves special beam. And all of her sisters have the same effect. They all get a beam. It all gets better when they use it, when they're used together, which is cool. Yeah. Okay. Nothing too fantastic here. Nothing like say, oh, you have to get her. So I'm gonna say, okay, as a tank. And if you're gonna run the sisters, then run them all together. But other than that, I'd say you can probably be safe passing on Lala this time. So next up is Nana. She is a destroyer, and so she has a very good torpedo stat, very poor firepower stat. So you can probably get away with running her with that blue DD gun. That's an AA gun mount, basically. That has like a 0.6 second reload rate. She fires it very quickly and activates her all assaults and stuff. And let's see, every 10 times fires main guns, summons an animal friend, and so it just keeps that animal friend spawning quickly. So alien animal friend, and this is the one that has the augment gear. Increase the ship's torpedo and firepower, or increases the ship's torpedo and accuracy by 15%. And every 10 times she fires her main guns, summons the animal, which is a little penguin that shoots torpedoes. Pretty cool. And enemy special barrage, basically from the penguin, take 10% more torpedo damage from her. I think it'd be a bit better if it was from all your Vanguard torpedoes, but it is what it is. You can't be too crazy, I guess. And the upgrade seems just to give the barrage an improvement. Yeah, that's what it looks like. She also gets the animal attack, more torpedo and accuracy, and she has a special beam along with her sisters. And there you go. You get the special skill once she has that piece of gear at level 10. And an overpowering will when she's attacked. She has a chance to buff her own evasion rate. 5 seconds, 8-second cooldown. And once per battle, when she falls below 30%, as a damage taken, restores HP, and increases her evasion till the end of battle. So, not a terrible destroyer. Doesn't require a whole bunch of other people to work. She has evasion buffs, she has a heal, which is pretty nice. But once again, nothing too crazy here. Nothing like, oh my goodness, you gotta have her. And probably want to run her with her sisters, just so the augment gear get the most out of it. And lastly, you get her augment gear from doing the mini game, which is like the memorize with patterns and then move the character around while using the shield boost power up. So you get that shield boost power up, and you get animal attack, which is for Nana. So next up is Momo. She is the event dropship and event shopship. Also getting the gacha pull, which is where I got her, fortunately. And out of the 3 sisters that are in the Vanguard here, I'd say she's probably the one I'd like the most in terms of skills. So she's Alien Plant Friend. This has a little summon, also buffs her firepower. And it'll just attack the enemies. And it's stats scale of Momo's and the skills level. That's cool. And then when just her augment gear equipped and it is max level, basically improves the little barrage she has, and then summons a plant. And once per battle, when her HP falls below 35%, damage taken, fires with barrage. So it gets an extra barrage, buffs her existing barrage. I'm assuming it buffs the summon as well. You can get this augment gear, the burst flower for Momo, from an event mission where you do 5 stages of the event maps. So super easy to do, super easy to get. And then her second skill, Secret Schemes. So this makes her take less damage. And if she is not the frontmost position in your fleet, she gets extra reload and accuracy. So basically, offensively, it's better. But if she is the frontmost, she gets more AA and evasion, so she can be more of a tank, which is nice. So she has flexibility there. And when the battle starts, and every 10 seconds, it picks one random ally without the planned execution status and increases their evasion by 5% for 8 seconds, and then gives them the planned execution status afterwards. And every 20 seconds for 10 seconds, increase your fleet's damage dealt by 5%, which I really like. That's probably why I like her out of the 3 sisters. Is because that one part of the skill is extra nice damage every 20 seconds. Which not just applies to your Vanguard, also applies to your main fleet. So you can time that with your carriers and stuff. And grants Momo and all allies with the planned execution status the following buffs. If they're in the Vanguard, restores HP and buffs their firepower and torpedo. If they're in the main fleet, restores HP and buffs their firepower and aviation by 5% each. So, really cool. Gives a heal, gives buffs, gives just flat extra damage, and she's quote unquote free, easy to get. Stats pretty decent overall. Augment gear super easy to get. So, out of all of the ones, Momo is worth looking at. And next up, we have our last of the gold gacha chips. Golden Darkness herself. There you go. That is a battleship, and she got some good flexibility. I like her skills. Pretty interesting. So increase her main gun efficiency, which starts at 35 or 135. Sorry, it goes up to 145 with this, which is nice. And when she fires her main guns, she selects one random enemy and activates one of the following effects based on the enemy's armor type. So if it's a light armor enemy, fires a HE barrage, and if it's a medium or heavy, fires an AP barrage. And this barrage covers the whole screen, which is what I like to see in barrages, because some are like little just couple bullets shoot out or a straight line. I like the good coverage. That way, if there's a bunch of enemies, good for clearing them out, and that's always nice. So, if she has her augment module equipped, go right there. And you get that one from, I believe, getting 3 stars on the first stage of the event maps. Yes, 3-star reward for T1. So, very easy to do. And I think it's only like level 20 or something that the enemies are. And the event maps are very easy this time. So, once you have that equipped on her and it is fully leveled, then the light armor effect decreases enemy speed hit by it by 20% for 6 seconds, but does not stack with other decreasing speed skills. And if they are medium or heavy armor, they get it with a special armor break. But what it was actually kind of saying, and I read a couple different spots, is, and it says it here too, it just makes them take more damage from firepower based damage sources. Not like a plane or like Hakuryu's bombs or whatever, or the Tenrai's bombs, not Hakuryu's. Just, they're together. And then her I Love Taiyaki skill ups her stats. And 30 seconds after battle starts, and the first time each battle when the ship's HP falls below 50% as well as damage taken, activates the following effects. Restores 8% the ship's max HP, and increase the ship's evasion and AA by 15% until the battle ends. And this part of the skill can only activate once per battle. So out of the gacha ships, if I were to recommend one, it would be this one. Her barrages are good. She has self-sustain. Not a whole lot, but it's better than nothing. She has survivability. Her firepower is pretty decent. Her AA is pretty decent. So overall, fairly strong. And then her augment module gives her a slashing attack every 30 seconds, which will help clear the screen of bullets coming in and other stuff. It does damage. And it's very easy to get. So if I would recommend one of the gacha ships, it would be Golden Darkness. And she's my second favorite in terms of skills overall for this event. Not the first. We haven't gotten to the first yet. But definitely a strong second. And out of the gachas, she is the first. Overall, number 2. Alright, and for the last of the gacha ships, we have Haruna. And unfortunately, she falls into the elite not being very good. Now, normally, the elite is good skills, weakish stats. This one, okay stats. The AA is actually quite good on Haruna, but her skills did not impress me at all. So her first skill, Blue, Love Concealed. When the battle starts, marks the ally, excluding herself, with the lowest HP percentage, and restores 5% of max HP. I like that part. The recipient of this effect has their damage taken reduced by 8% until the battle ends. Alright. And if once per battle, her HP falls below 20% result of damage taken, restores 10% of whoever's affected HP. And then, but when the recipient of the skill receives healing from any other source other than the skill, removes that mark. So the problem with this skill is it only activates when the battle starts, so you can't refresh the mark when they get healed by another source. And let's say you're using, I don't know, Perseus, Unicorn, who have preloads that heal. You run into a bit of a problem there because it immediately clears whoever has that buff. And the buff doesn't refresh. And generally, you'd like to have as much healing as possible. I know sometimes you can run in and do a glass cannon fleet formation and just kill stuff faster than they can kill you. But I generally like to have healing. And so it's if it had, maybe every 20 seconds it reapplies the mark, it'd be a lot different story. But right now, do not like it. So once you get your augment gear equipped, it fixes a lot of the problems with this skill. Rather than removes the mark, according to this, instead increases their damage dealt by 5%. So it removes the detriment, gives it a buff. So I missed that the first time around. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh on her. But I just kind of read that like, oh, that's not very good. And 20% emergency situation. And her last skill, Barrage. And if she falls below 8% HP, does real damage taken. When an enemy gets within 80 units of herself. So that's not too close. But that's basically dealing with suicide boats, ramming ships. Can't deal with submarines, they're underwater. But stuff like that. She gets buffs, decreases load time for main guns, and but it also decreases her main gun's damage dealt by 10%. But also increases the activation chance of the above special barrage by 30%, so it makes it guaranteed when she fires her main guns. So it got a little bit of trade-off on just flat-out main gun damage versus barrage activation damage. So, and when she fires her main gun, she yeets a fire extinguisher at an enemy, inflicts armor break. Which I have not seen that activate, but I imagine it's quite funny to see it kind of slowly lob itself through the air and hit an enemy. On the plus side for Haruna, she is a battle cruiser, so she could be useful for a hard mode stage that has a requirement for battle cruisers if you don't have Repulsed Renown, Dunkirk, someone like that. Useful there. As for her augment gear, every 20 seconds is the innate skill. Use fire shooter and deploys a smoke screen, and I'm assuming it does not stack, but it cures all regular burns. So like HE guns, basically. Burns some skills. Those are usually special. Doesn't clear those. And the smoke screen will last 5 seconds. So that's the utility there. And to get that, you need to spend 1,000 energy stones in the event exchange. Now, this was 3,000. Fortunately, the wiki has updated it. And it's one of the things that got decreased in terms of how much you need to spend and use and all that stuff. So that was nice. Makes things a lot easier. But unfortunately, Haruna, gonna give a thumbs down. Not a big fan. Now, to someone I thought who would be a major disappointment, Yui. She is the point accumulation ship. She's an aircraft carrier. And she's way better than I thought she was going to be. In terms of her skills and her stats, probably the best one in my opinion from this event. At least the one I like the most. It's probably Yami is probably the best one, but I like Yui's skills. I think they make up for the fact her stats are a little bit low. In terms of the gold, she's actually not that far below most of them. Obviously, she can compete with someone like Nakamov or Amagi 2 or Enterprise. But among the elite carriers, she's third only to Little Enterprise and Little Shinano. So that's not bad. And 400, a good chunk of change. Her HP isn't terrible. Her AA is pretty good. I like her stats, and I like her skills. which is not something I often say for the point accumulation ships. Usually by this point in the video, it's kind of like, okay, and just kind of go through the motions. They're generally not the best. This time, quite happy with it. So it helps that she was the one I was kind of hoping would be good. Like to see. So for her skills, Scandalous can also be upgraded with their augment module. Every 10 seconds, a chance to fire a special barrage. And this barrage has different effects in it. So if the ruler shells in the barrage hits the same enemy 3 times, inflicts an armor break, and decreases their aircraft and increases their aircraft damage taken by 5% until the battle ends. And with the handcuff shells, the barrage to the enemy, decrease the enemy speed by 15% for 3 seconds. So the speed debuff doesn't need the 3 hits on the same enemy. And this will affect everyone hit, I'm assuming. Now, unfortunately, I have not seen the barrage. I have not gotten Yui yet, so this could be worse than I think. But at first glance, I like it. And the rulers, yeah, 3 times kind of It is what it is. And the upgrade version, the barrage is now guaranteed. So you have to have her augment gear equipped. It has to be level 10. Now, to get her augment gear, all you have to do is, where's the map? Clear T1. Any star rating's fine. And you get the Banner of Order. Now, what this does is its innate effect is give some stats, which is always cool. Will do. But its innate skill gives a buff to your Vanguard's evasion and firepower by 5% until the battle ends. That's a decent amount of just survivability just thrown to your Vanguard for free. So back to her skill, when it gets upgraded, like I said, Barrage comes guaranteed. And when an enemy has the armor break inflicted 3 times or more, and when this skill has inflicted armor break 3 times or more, buffs Yui's own aviation by 10% until the battle ends. So there's some utility here, just from this skill and her augment gear. They could have stopped there. But no. You could go further beyond. So overwearing outside, softy inside, increases their own AA by 10%, and decreases your Vanguard's damage taken by 5%. So more survivability for your Vanguard. Very, very nice. And when any other ship in your fleet is attacked, there's a 30% chance to fire a special airstrike with a 20% with a 20-second cooldown between activations. So Yui has a free one and a very easy augment gear to get. My highest recommendations out of all of them. Will she be useful in like a super hard boss stage? No. As general purpose, like clearing campaign event stages, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So Yui, I said Golden Darkness was the 2nd place. This is the 1st place. Really like her skills. And her stats. And her facial expressions. Those were quite funny. Those got released. So if there was one to get, and you don't even have to spend cubes, you just gotta spend a little bit of time, it would be Yui. So she, out of all of them, my highest recommendation for Yui. Alright, now that we've covered the girls of the event, let's just kind of do a general summary, and then I'll put timestamps throughout so you can kind of skip around and see the parts you like. So, we're going to cover the girls there. Ben skins. No L2Ds this time, which I was kind of surprised by. I thought we'd get at least one, but we didn't. We got 2 dynamics, and the dynamics weren't even the collab characters. So that was mighty strange. But Ulrich has a Schoolworld skin, and August von Percival has a skin that is just the transparent shirt from the Black Friday login screen. So there you go. You can get that skin. And then Lala has her skin, and if you watch the video on the live stream summary, you saw them all there. But generally, kind of, well, the last two are pretty wholesome. The other four, not so much. And the event furniture is basically Lala's room. It's got, you know, princessy stuff, stools, sneaky stunky, and there's a very loud train going by. Hopefully it doesn't pick up. A mysterious gate, where you place anyone on it, they kind of get sucked into it and they disappear for a while, and they get dropped down to the side. And other just stuff go along with the girls. And event equipment skins. Got shells. And most of these, if not all of them, drop the event stages, which I really like. I don't like having to spend a bunch of coins trying to get gear on the boxes when I spend a bunch of coins and then not actually get the one skin I want, which sucks. Especially during like the Gridman one, which I think the Gridman rerun had a selection box at the end, but you had to get a certain amount of boxes already, which was not particularly fun. And event features. So this is Help Me Miss Lala. So to find this, at the main screen, go to Collab and Help Me Miss Lala. These will unlock 1 per day. That's how you get the event gear. Most of them, not a huge fan of. I'll talk about them at the end of this. But basically what you do is you get the little green pieces from doing campaign stages after Chapter 3 and the event stages. And you get more the higher difficulty stages you do. And basically what you do is you get the pieces, hit complete request. So now, okay, we got enough. Assemble parts. So we need to get all of these to fit onto this diagram. Make it all fit. Go and you drag them over. Make them fit somehow. Oh, I already probably messed this up. No, I'm good. I'm good. I got it first try. So, stage 1 complete. Now, you need to draw a line that connects all the circuits. You can go up, down, left, right. You can also go diagonal. So just be aware, you can go diagonal. All right. Let's see. I'm embarrassed the hell out of myself. Taking forever to do this. God, that train is so loud. Oh, can't go up there. Can't jump across. So, get the idea. Let me do this off recording so I don't embarrass myself further. Okay, 2 seconds later, I figured it out. Boom, 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 boom. And you go diagonally up, up, down, 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 down. There you go. Pause the recording for 2 seconds and I figured it out. Do that and basically go and give them their completed equipment. There you go. Sales booster. Or boosta, whatever. Boosta bot. So yeah, that is how to do that. And you need a couple different things. So after you do the first one, get a little bubbly boily. You also get Logos Almo tool. And at the end, you also get the data chip for the like metals thing. So let's look at the gear. The first one, Bubbly Boily Chef, is just a weaker toolbox. So, meh. And the Sales Booster Bot increases your accuracy for 50 seconds. I like the stats it gives. Evasion, always nice, and accuracy. By default. Regardless of the actual skill it gives. That one's okay. Now this one. I see some evil potential with this one. So first off, skills are fantastic. Evasion and speed. Like the little beaver tag, like the cosmic kicks. Always like the speed stuff. And it gives evasion. Very cool. Now the skills, I can see this being put in some evil use in PvP. Once per battle, when the wearer has taken damage equal to a total of 25% of max HP, the wearer enters a stealth mode and evades all attacks for 1.5 seconds. So that's making Anchorage live just a little bit longer. Or maybe giving Enterprise a chance to proc Lucky E again, or just some evil shenanigans in PvP. So, probably the best one. And it's on day 3. You can get it. And you can get, next up, All Work, All Play Robot. Gives firepower and accuracy. Good stats. Every 20 seconds, increases the wearer's damage dealt just a little bit. And it can only go up 3 times per battle. So, I don't know. Probably 2% per time. It's probably something very minuscule, so you don't get an actual number. So, depends on how much the buff is. But that's just every 20 seconds. Yeah. And then Speedy Sprouty Botanist. This is a gun that makes plants larger. So it's more of a firepower buff, no other stats. And it might make the enemy grow a little bit bigger. Now, it doesn't say a time, so it may not actually do anything. It would be funny if just like every couple seconds, it would just make one enemy just slightly larger than the rest. Just scale their chibi up just a little bit. Funny. And then Spooky, Scary Spectre. A bunch of firepower, a little bit of accuracy. And when the wearer fires her main guns, makes the mood kinda spooky. What does that mean? I have no idea. Maybe it makes like a little effect around, kind of like auxiliary skin or auxiliary gear skin does. It's like a little like purple smoke effect or something. I'm not quite sure, but probably doesn't have a good skill because it's amount of firepower. And the Mori Glory Aura Booster gives HP and probably gives just a little glow around the character. So yeah, those are the augment gears. Definitely that sneaky powder or sneaky capsule. The one I'm voting for the most. Next up, we have the Tick Tick Kaboom Kun. Because the font in the actual game, I thought it was Red said something completely different. But here, minigame, very easy to find. Rewards as you go along, mostly just event furniture. Now, you get power-ups, and normally, games like, oh, I'll give you a power-up, but you don't get as much score. This one, you won't use power-ups. Appears you can only use one at a time. And then as you do the different power-ups, rewards, okay, if I do with the score boost, I get some oil. And also, if I have a certain amount of points, it's 2,000, so pretty easy to get. Probably very easy to score boost. Get a little bit of event currency, which isn't a lot. I thought it was more. Yeah. You want to be doing it, and then once you get that Omni boost, you get the last of the medals. And so this very simple mini game. You just remember, okay, up, very slow, up, 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 right or left. And if you do the wrong or you don't do it enough time, then you get blown up. And it ends. You see the event story and the reward for that day. When it says clear, that just means play it. Not or beat. Just means play it. You don't have to actually do well. That is that. Have some event missions. You get a whole bunch of stuff. You get the Momo augment gear. You get some furniture, Haruna's augment gear, upgrade materials, skill box or skins, fair gear. Interesting stuff. And yeah, just basically play through the event. Nice and easy. And a lot of these have been decreased the amount you need because they realized it was probably a little too much. Yeah, so you get some stuff. Like I haven't collected any because I just wanted to show it off. Got Lala's thing. Second one. Collect all. Go. I don't know what this set does. I think it's just a thing you have in your inventory forever. Then we got some stuff. And then we have the Mark II Bullen. Very cool. There's some medals. And like the other collabs, it's just basically little collection things you get related to character and stuff. And once you do all of them, I believe you get some event furniture. All right, next up, the map completion. This is where you get Yui's Band of Order, Golden Darknesses, augment gear, and some furniture and stuff. And fortunately, the enemies top out at level 80. So, very beginner friendly in terms of levels. Now, what's less beginner friendly is it's not on the wiki yet. But go to the event maps. Over here, we have normal, 5 stages. You have SP is 125, so you want to be or only level 100. Sorry, so we decently leveled for that. But we have the challenge stages. Let me click it. You have no rewards innately, but you also complete missions that give you event currency that can speed things along. And these are all level 125. However, they seem to be fairly easy because I did it with this fleet, and only the last one here, level 5, which is facing off against Golden Darkness, Yami, was the only one I struggled with. I had to actually make sure I put gear. Formidable had 1 plane, and Zara had semi-armor piercing ammo, which is not good against a battleship. But it's not too difficult if you have level 125 ships. So basically use your boss fleet and you'll be good to go for these. They're not hard, just a level thing. If you're under leveled, then you have that damage reduction and less damage dealt and all that stuff to contend with. Also the EX stages, play with it at your own risk. I'm not going to do a video on it. There are others do much better. I think Mr. Fluff, name, already has one up. Check that out. And event story is separated. And once you do all the event story, you get another piece of furniture. Lots of event furniture this time. And for event maps to do, which one I'd recommend? Honestly, the gear isn't particularly great. Like, if you see something you really like need, like, oh, I'm pretty close, then you do a couple of runs of that. I believe it's only this one right here, T2, gives Unicorn. So if you haven't gotten her from the guild shop, only level 35 to get her, which is easier than the campaign stage to get her. But the one I recommend is T5, get the most points. You have a chance of getting Momo. I haven't really seen the drops from it, the elites, which is unfortunate. But the gear has some good gear. So, quad bofers, decent enough to get some golds. Has the Roomba AA gun, which is quite good. And advanced spoiler, it's more speed and HP, I believe. And the toolkit, which will always be good. Always try to get more of these. Gives HP and gives a HP restore percentage every 15 seconds. No limit like the gear from this event. T5, if you can do it. If not, the highest level you can, easy. Alright, so kind of like some miscellaneous stuff. Event shop. You can get Momo, gear skins, common chips and arrays. Like always recommend grabbing some of these. always be useful. And after that, these are always nice for leveling up ships, getting a little broken. If you're starting out and you don't have any good gear, these tech boxes for Eagle Union have the best gear, and honestly, they kind of just go in order of how good they are. So Union, Royal Navy, Sakura, Ironblood's kind of not too great. But I like Union's gear the most. You only get 4, but it's unfortunate. If you need to upgrade your gear, well, there's plenty of stuff. Probably get 1 to like level 8 or something. Coins Royal, typical stuff for events. Basically, everything past the gear skin you will see in every event, and just occasionally this will change. Like older events, reruns will have a previous season, and future events after PR8 comes out will have PR8 ones, which still work for PR7s. So, Milestone Rewards. Very typical stuff. Skill books, you get coins, you get upgrades for your retrofits, and then at 10,000 points, you get the point relationship. And as you go along, it increases more and more. Better stuff, more copies. They changed this UI for this, and I really like it. I'm a big fan of how it looks now. It's not just kind of like a scroll wheel that goes vertically, like the sideways scrolling. And it just looks a lot pretty, got more color to it. Yeah, I like it. Collect all. I want to get that Yui. And I have the audio muted because I got bonked on my stream for having the collab music playing. So, no fun there. So, that was my event summary of the Love Ru Collab event. Overall, I like Yami's skills, and I like Yui's skills. So, Yui, you don't have to pull for, which is nice. The event gear, kind of except for that one that gives like evasion. So, but if you're gonna pull, hopefully get Yami. And I would temper your pulls, kind of hold back, don't go too crazy, because there is a UR due for the end of the year. I don't know what faction, I don't know who it's gonna be, as like I said earlier. But just keep that in mind. Just want to hammer that home. There is another UR coming somewhat soon. And I'll have to get a rerun of the Brunhild event. Want to get Brunhild? The UR is coming back soon. Hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's everything. So thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed and thought it was useful, and you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do so. Share it. Other people are going to be, find it useful. Maybe they'll find it useful too. Also helps the channel grow and helps other more people see it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.